Welcome to Park Bench Interviews, hosted by Randy Goodman, Harvey Callis Real Estate, your real estate professional. Get to know our community, our businesses, products, and services that will elevate your life. Please welcome your hostess, Randy Goodman.
It's Randy Goodman here from Harvey Callis Real Estate. I'm super excited to be here with Jodie Rogers, who is a wellness advocate with doTERRA and empowers people about their health. And I'd love to hear all about it. But first, I want to know, who is Jodie?
Wow, Jodie is a mom of three, a wife, an entrepreneur who left the corporate world.
Okay. Wow. And how long ago did you leave the corporate world?
Just coming on 2 years now.
Nice. So what did you do before?
I worked in various roles in sales and marketing for a major CPG company here in Canada after getting my MBA with McGill University.
Wow. Okay. So smart cookie, and you left. So why did you leave?
Well, there was a few reasons. I guess partly I felt like all the dreams and the visions I had of climbing the corporate ladder and crashing through the glass ceiling, they just weren't materializing. My biggest cheerleaders and my biggest supporters had either left the country to pursue international positions or left the company altogether, and I sort of felt left behind and stuck in these mundane tasks with little value or sense of purpose. And I discovered essential oils, and they opened up my mind to just natural healthcare for my family. And before I knew it, I started sharing them quite naturally with coworkers and friends, and I started to get an inkling for something more, something I could pursue for myself.
Okay, awesome. And were there any family or personal reasons why you would have wanted to leave the corporate world? Because I know there's probably a lot of people out there in a similar situation, and maybe too afraid to leave, or it's too uncertain. So
yeah, definitely. I think I was the breadwinner, so my husband had been a stay-at-home dad. We'd chosen to have this arrangement, and he was a perfect fit to be home with the kids. And so for over a decade, he was in that role, and I was the breadwinner. So there was really, a lot of, I guess, pressure and a lot of expectation on me to ensure to keep up with the resources and the finances. And, but I had this inkling that there was something to this business, and so I started to pursue it on the side. So not only was I working a very demanding career, but then working this part-time business. And actually, after probably being involved for about 3 years and building up a little side gig, I was restructured out of that position. And so it really just opened up the door for me to jump in both feet and pursue it full time. And that's what we've been doing ever since.
So have you been able to, because it's like a really scary place to be, especially when you're the sole breadwinner, and thankfully your husband was able to stay home and take care of the kids, but it can be a really super scary place to leave a corporate job where you're getting that paycheck, it's coming in, it's paying for everything, and then to be on your own as an entrepreneur, and everything's uncertain. Like if you're not working the business or working on the business, working in the business, working, then you don't have funds coming in. So tell me a little bit about your feelings at that time.
Yeah, well, I think the period just before the restructure that ended up in my freedom, I call it sort of like my freedom from jail. I was in a really down place. I really didn't enjoy what I was doing, and I really was feeling stuck. So, hate is not a word we allow in our house, but mommy could say, I hate my job. Wow. and did often. And so I really was in not in a good place emotionally. And so when the announcement was made, I really just had this sense of peace, that it was a door closing for me that I was really too afraid to close for myself, because I was, the breadwinner, and kind of just opening up this door saying like, hello, do you need a neon sign that go this way? And so a lot of people could feel, stress and a financial burden and, sense of value, but loss, right? Like, how could this happen to me? But for me, and, the first person I called, of course, was my husband. And then I called, one of my business partners in doTERRA, and they were really excited for me because they saw it for what it was, which was an opportunity to really do what I was passionate about and just do it full time. So, yeah.
And, I know you off the screen, so I know how passionate you are about doTERRA, but you also got to start working with your husband with this. This was an opportunity to work together and also get him back in the workforce, basically, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, and I think, obviously that can be a challenge, right? This was a new environment for us. So he'd always been home, but been home kind of on his own accord and doing his daily routine without me around. And so, the last year and a half has really been one of figuring out exactly what roles we play. And sometimes there's crossover and sometimes they're very separate. And so, yeah, and I think it's been a real joy to just be around. I mean, I've always been thankful that we had him home to kiss the kids' boo-boos and, not a nanny or a caregiver. Right. And so, my kids also grow up in this very different environment of both parents being around after school and in the morning and so on. And so, but yeah, it has its challenges, but it's also been, it's been very rewarding, and it's been a good opportunity to kind of discover and figure out what roles each will take.
Well, you guys get to make your own hours. You get to be there for the kids. You get to, do it alone or do it together. Your choice, right? You can trade off on those positions. And I also know that your husband's pretty passionate about this as well. So it's nice that the two of you are on the same page, and you get to kind of choose, where you are, what you do, when you work, when you don't work. And
yeah, exactly.
So how has, since we're in the middle of COVID here, it would be nice to also share, how has this affected your business? Because your product is very hands-on, right? And it's sensory, and it's something you want to touch and feel and put on your body or put in your hands and be able to smell it. So how has this affected or changed the way you're doing business right now?
Yeah, obviously there are some changes for sure. I think we've, my business is a lot around education, and so obviously educating people online is very, it's what everyone's doing now. So we continue to be able to educate and hold online classes and workshops, meet people one-on-one, like we're meeting today. But the sensory part, how we've overcome that is really to offer people samples. So thankfully the mail is still working, and we can do porch drop-offs. And so there's a few key essential oils we love to have in people's hands for an online class. And so we're trying to make that work, and it doesn't always work, but the key is education first, and then the products come, and once they have them in their home, we can meet them virtually to continue to bring them on their wellness journey.
And Jodie, that's a great idea, for people who are in business and may have products similar to yours, or just the idea where the people really need to have it in their hands or whatnot. And you're lucky because you guys have samples that you can share with people that you don't need to have back. I know if it was something like equipment or something like that, it's not very easy to go and drop one at someone's door. But for those of you out there who can get a hold of samples in your business, doing those drop-offs or being able to mail them out if they're small items that wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to mail. It's a great idea. And I know you guys have these cute itty bitty little samples. They're so
Yeah.
adorable. I don't know if you have one near you to show, but
No, I don't. I should have thought of that.
but they're so cute and easy to mail or easy to go and drop off if someone doesn't live too far away. So that's another great idea to share. So thank you for that. So you also are involved in the community. I know you feel it's important to give back. Tell us a little bit about what you do to give back to society, community, or charitable.
Yeah, well, a couple things I do that are a little on hold right now. One of them was I lead up a women's ministry group at my church, and so obviously we're not meeting for our monthly coffee or planning our spring tea just
Do it
now.
online.
Yeah, you know what? I really should. And then I do continue to lead a group of women through an organization called Leader Impact. So it's a group that just connects weekly via Zoom. Still, we're still meeting live to just help each other grow professionally, personally, and spiritually. And so that's great. That's like one thing that I won't change and I won't sway from. And then something that unfortunately kind of got put on hold for a moment, but was just beginning to be involved with an organization called Fight for Freedom. And so they educate the community about the topic of human trafficking, which actually exists here in Canada, much to many people's surprise. And so that's something I'm really passionate about. It's been a long time coming to even put that passion into some practical steps. And so I'm being sort of groomed as a community educator to bring that message into schools and public community spaces.
That's fantastic, Jodie. Really, it's and people don't realize how much that goes on. They think it just happens to, the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And it happens right here at home. It's absolutely horrific. And I know quite a few people who are advocates and very active in that realm and trying to stop it however possible. So thank you for being part of that. And thank you for all the things that you're doing. Making an impact on people is really important. And what you're doing here is making an impact on people. So thank you for being on with me. Is there a website or somewhere that people can get a hold of you?
Absolutely. You can call my cell. It's not ringing off the hook right now. 647-401-3759. My name's Jodie Rogers. I've got my email is healthybalanceo scratch that. Let's go with Jodie G. Rogers at gmail.com. So JODIEG, middle name Gail, Rogers at gmail.com. And we have a website. It's healthybalanceo.com. So that's healthybalanceo.com, EO standing for essential oils. So you can start to get some information there. It's a bit under construction, but we'll have some things up for you to access there.
Perfect, thank you. And are there any, and we'll have like all your contact info on this page so people can get a hold of you in various different ways. Are there any tips or comments or anything you want to share with everybody before we sign off?
I mean, I think the biggest thing right now that people are concerned about with regards to how I can support them is with both immune and emotional health. So, immune health is obviously really key. We want to have strong immunities. And so there are lots of simple tips that you can do to build up a strong immunity. Simple things like making sure you exercise so that your stress goes down and you can help your body produce some of those feel-good chemicals to, counter stress, because stress can be harmful on the immune system. Drink your water, get get some sunshine, stay in connection with people, and of course, eat the rainbow. So eat healthy, nutrient-rich foods. And then for emotional health, some of the things are similar, right? Get outside for a walk, get some fresh air, and when in doubt, pull your lavender out. So lavender essential oils, other essential oils are just a beautiful way to quickly trigger, our limbic system and switch our emotional state. And if anyone's ever interested in learning about the power of essential oils, like I said, I've got samples. Samples are easy to drop off on a porch or through the mail. And from time to time, we run essential oil studies. So we're actually about to conduct a study on sleep and stress. So if those are areas of concern, particularly, I think stress and emotional health is of growing concern as people are isolated. Essential oils can just be a beautiful part of having a more healthy emotional state. And so I would love to get some oils in your hand and educate you on how something as simple as putting a drop in your hand and breathing it in can really help support you during this time.
Love that. Thank you. So just tell us your top 3 favorite essential oils.
Yeah, well, right now, my number 1 is actually a beautiful blend. It's a proprietary blend called Adaptive. It was designed for such a time as this. It's for helping to combat feelings of stress and anxiousness. So it's lavender, spearmint, copaiba, wild orange, all these beautiful oils together in this amazing, amazing blend. Balance would be another one. So again, a grounding blend. And my favorite go-to, number 1, has always been peppermint. That's how I discovered oils. Peppermint's great to just give you a quick little boost of energy, a quick pick-me-up, freshens your breath, it gives you some alertness, and can also help with fever or headache. So very, very versatile oil, and still my number 1.
Okay, I love it. Thank you so much. So please share your website one more time for us.
So that's healthybalanceo.com.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you so much for being on here, Jodie, with us and sharing with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to this interview hosted by Randy Goodman. We hope you will take action and connect with the incredible business people and leaders in our community. And remember, Randy is always here to answer any questions you have regarding your real estate needs. Be sure to register on the website and stay up to date on what's happening in your area at parkbench.com/millpond.